Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale, and today we're going to be highlighting this deck, which I absolutely love. By the way, what the heck is that up in the upper left-hand corner of this video? If I was a clickbaiter, I would title this video, OMG, biggest glitch ever, WTF. Anyway, let me digress. Let's cover this deck today, guys. I love this deck. Those of you who have been following my channel for a while know that I never call anything OP, but this comes as close as you can get, guys. I love it. This deck is awesome, and I love substituting in the Mega Minion, which I'm going to give you my full thoughts on throughout this episode. I just won my 3rd Grand Challenge. I'm going to go ahead and show you my stats on my player profile, but first, let's open up this chest. Let's start out this episode with what is usually the ending of the episode. So some Elixir Collector, some Hog Rider, that's what I'm looking for. I need my Hog leveled up for ladder play. Minions don't need those. Zaps don't need those. Mega Minion, that's what I'm talking about. And Poison times 5, I'll take it. Tesla 403, don't need it. Freeze times 6, I'll take it. Oh, that's it, huh? I'll tell you what, guys, you guys gotta stop tweeting me every time you get a legendary card because it's making me very, very jealous. So, I'm just joking. You can keep tweeting me, guys. I like hearing from you all. So, you can see my stats there. I've only played a handful, I should say, of these grand challenges. And in today's episode, we're gonna watch a bunch of replays just because I love this deck so much. And to be honest with you guys, I'm much better when I'm not commentating live as a player. So let's kind of hop into things here. You can see I actually used the poison very early on here against that right tower and the elixir pump. Now, I don't love to do that. I really like to get a lot of value out of my poison spell, plus it's so essential for my big giant pushes. By the way, guys, we're going to cover the ideal, perfect, absolute best case scenario push that helped me win 3 grand challenges using this deck in today's episode. So I'm going to make sure I pause and highlight those big pushes when they come because spacing is very, very important with this Giant Mega Minion Beatdown deck. By the way, guys, includes no legendary cards. Now, I do want to apologize before I get into the strategy a little bit more here. I do want to apologize because I've now brought you, I think, 3 Beatdown deck highlights in a row here, and usually I like to switch it up in terms of the deck archetype that I highlight on my channel, but I gotta be honest, when I won my 2nd Grand Challenge, I was like, okay, not a big deal, I'll go ahead and just, you know, whatever, I'll just bring a Lava Hound deck because I really want to share a Lava Hound deck with you guys. But then, when I won my 3rd Grand Challenge using this deck, I was like, okay, guys, I gotta bring this freaking deck to my viewers. I want to share it so badly. I'm so happy right now that I figured I had to. So, next episode will definitely be a different type of deck, but I figured you guys would really enjoy this because A, it has Mega Minion, and B, it's so damn good, and C, it's something that I really wanted to talk about in terms of the ideal spacing on these beatdown decks, something that I didn't cover in my previous video. By the way, if you missed my previous 2 videos, they highlighted my first ever Grand Challenge win, all 12 battles, all live. So if you guys want to check those out, be sure to do so. Alright, so now let's actually pay attention to this match instead of me blabbing on like a blundering fool the entire episode. So I'm gonna make sure I pump up. It's very, very, very important in any beatdown deck to always keep that pump going. You can see he used a fireball, a little bit of an ill-advised fireball. It brought him down to 4 elixir at the time that he used it. And at this point here, you can see I have the 2 elixir disadvantage. However, I do have 5 elixir already on the board in the form of my giant. So I'm gonna place the mini P.E.K.K.A. behind the king tower. I'm gonna have to defend really quickly in the left lane. And at this point in this push, my thought process is mitigate the damage as much as possible. You're gonna take some damage on the left, but you really want to capitalize on this big lucrative push in the right. So you can see I have 2 mini P.E.K.K.A.s behind the giant and a musketeer behind that. There is no way he's going to stop this push, and that's what it's all about. Now, it might not have been the absolute ideal push, but you can see the spacing on the mini P.E.K.K.A. allowed the mini P.E.K.K.A. to catch up to my giant in back of the giant just in time for him to reach the bridge, and then I place my musketeer kind of towards the center of the map. Now, I placed the musketeer a little bit extra to the left to take down around that princess if you go ahead and rewind and check that out. But ideally, you want to have a decent amount of spacing between your tanks, your mini P.E.K.K.A.s and your giants, and your, or I should say melee units, between your melee cards and between your musketeer. You want at least, you can see the little tiles on the map right now. I like to try to keep around 4 or 5 tile separation, and what that will allow you to do is your opponent's going to want to play guards or goblins or something on your range units, your musketeers. So what that allows you to do is react, and it doesn't give your opponent enough time to prep for that push. So what you can do is you can place guards to protect your musketeer behind the mini P.E.K.K.A. and behind the giant. I really like having the 2 little waves of a big push. So in other words, let me repeat that. You're going to have your giant. You can see it right here. The giant, you wait a little bit, wait till your elixir gets close to full. Then the mini P.E.K.K.A. The mini P.E.K.K.A. will catch up to the giant, kind of be right on his you-know-what. As soon as he crosses the bridge, you can drop either your guards or you can drop your musketeer, depending on what you have elixir for. Now, the mini P.E.K.K.A. obviously isn't going to be distracted like the giant is, so he's going to go right to that tower unless the opponent places a very well-placed cannon or defensive structure a little bit closer to the tower. So you can really take advantage of the opponent because, you know, I mean, a good defender will see the giant coming and place, let's say, a cannon or whatever it may be a little bit in the opposite lane. That way the giant has more room to traverse to get there. But what you can do as a savvy attacker is delay that mini P.E.K.K.A. and then the mini P.E.K.K.A., because the defender placed that defensive unit too far over to the other side, your mini P.E.K.K.A. will run right up to that tower and he won't be taking any fire because at that point all the tower damage will be directed towards your giant. So that is one of the combinations you want to really pull off here. But look at this, it's already 6 or 7 minutes into this video and I haven't even mentioned the Mega Minion. I love the Mega Minion. I think it's one of the most powerful cards in the entire game. Now, I just literally leveled up my Mega Minion to tournament standards level 7 yesterday. So, and I did that only by buying the special offer that was in my shop. I haven't like gemmed or anything else other than that. So I did that and then I just opened up the chest that I naturally got. So I'm going to protect my pumps back here with the Musketeer in the Mega Minion, but let me talk a little bit more about why I love the Mega Minion so very much. So number one, its hit points aren't that dramatic, aren't that drastic. In fact, if the Mega Minion is in the lane, it won't even reach the opponent's tower before it dies just off of the tower damage. So the Mega Minion isn't a tanky air unit at all, so don't treat it that way. Rather, it has a tremendous defensive capabilities, and offensively, when you put them behind a big tanky unit such as the Giant in these examples, they are absolutely beast mode. These Mega Minions are amazing, really. They do so much point damage. I mean, think of it this way. A Mega Minion fires about 1.3 times faster than a mini P.E.K.K.A. swings, and it does about half the damage. So for 3 elixir, you get an air troop that is doing serious damage. When it hits a tower in tournament standards, it's something like 250 HP for every little swing or poop or drop, or what do they do? What do Mega Minions do? What do minions even do? I need help from you guys linguistically here so I can add that verb to my lexicon. So anyway, moving on here, I really want to highlight in this replay especially how much I love this Mega Minion. Now, if your Mega Minion isn't up to level 7 yet, I'd still advise using it as little as level 5 because it's still doing a heck of a lot of damage and it still has enough hit points to actually survive long enough. In most cases, you're going to go ahead and have that Mega Minion pretty well protected behind a tank. So again, I have the combination going here. I see my opponent has an Inferno Tower, so I immediately drop the guards, but it just wasn't quite quick enough. I wait for that Inferno Tower to start heating up, as it were, to start powering up, but by this point, you saw I mentioned it earlier, my mini P.E.K.K.A. already was on the tower. He had some guards around him too for some extra protection, and just as I discussed previously on the other replay there, the opponent trying to think, you know, trying to think smartly defensively, put that Inferno Tower way to the left side that allowed my mini P.E.K.K.A. to pretty much go unchecked to the right tower. So that is what I love about this combination, and I'm gonna try to, I hope this replay has some good examples of the Mega Minion usage too, because it's really just such an unbelievable card. Now here you can see I'm trying to get a nice push going in the left lane, and I start out with the mini P.E.K.K.A. instead of the Giant or the Musketeer. Now, I do want to talk about that, why I did that, excuse me, in just a second here, but I had to defend in the right, so meanwhile, the push in the left didn't really go how I envisioned it there. And this mini P.E.K.K.A., by the way, is going to get to my left tower and get a couple swings off because I was a little bit too aggressive in the left and then had to defend, and I probably over-defended a little bit in the right. So that was a mistake by yours truly. But what I wanted to do there, and this is very, very important, an ill-advised Hog Rider play there. You can tell he just wanted to defend, keep my mini P.E.K.K.A. away from his tower, but he probably could have used a Fire Spirit there instead, maybe just taken one hit or no hits. So because I already have one tower down, I'm going to place my Giant on the opponent's side of the map here. I take care of that Inferno tower. I drop a... look at this Mega Minion, by the way. The Mega Minion is basically going to three-shot that mini P.E.K.K.A., and then he's going to help out on that tower, take down the left tower, and that's going to be a 3-crown victory. Watch how fast these units take down that King Tower. I mean, basically, that Mega Minion did so much damage. The Giant was already long dead by that point. Just a little bit of assistance from the guards, but that's one of the reasons I love the Mega Minion, because defensively has a ton of versatility. I can stick, if the opponent's coming at me with a really big push, I can kind of drop the Mega Minion there and have a lot of success. Now look at this, guys. I actually lost to a Balloon Giant deck, and I know quite a few of you guys want to see a good Balloon Giant deck, and I do plan on bringing you one of those, guys, but it's really just a matter of me getting better at the deck before I feel comfortable sharing it with you guys. I never share a deck with you guys that I'm playing currently that I don't feel super comfortable with, almost as if it was live, if I was like teaching a class that I'd be able to answer all the questions about. Otherwise, I'll just share one of your decks and then I'll ask you guys maybe about 5 or 10 questions. You guys have probably already seen my expert/pro player interviews, and what I do is I try to answer all those questions before I bring it to you guys. So basically, that's my incredibly long-winded way of saying that I don't feel comfortable enough sharing all the inside tips that I possibly can using a Balloon Giant deck. Now, bring your attention, if you will, to that left tower. This is what I call Mega Minion versus Tower. Tower loses, and already, I mean, a minute into the match, Tower is down, and at this point, I think I was around 7 or 8 wins, so, hey, it's awesome to get a tower down this early in a match, especially when you're playing a deck like this, that, you know, it's really an offensive beatdown deck, but still, I have enough defensive weapons in this deck to really, you know, coast through the match if I really want to. Now, I try to remain aggressive, especially with my Giant playing it on the opponent's side, but at the same time, you can see, but by the way, guys, another Mega Minion defense here. He's going to take care of that mini P.E.K.K.A., no big deal. He's going to take care of these guards. I got it, no big deal. Oh, what's that, an Ice Wizard? Oh, very cute, but I'm a Mega Minion. I see you, Ice Wizard. I see you, Ice Wizard. Okay, that was really bad, but that's my impersonation of Akbar from American Ninja Warrior. Any of you guys ever watch that? But he basically says, I see you, girl, I see you, girl, every single contestant who runs. So anyway, I've been watching that, and I'm on to the finals, so I am behind a little bit. But anyway, I digress. Back to this match here. So just as I said in the beginning, I'm kind of just coasting along here, playing a little bit of defense, trying to stay semi-aggressive offensively as well. You can see my mini P.E.K.K.A. on mini P.E.K.K.A. Crime over here in the right. My mini P.E.K.K.A. takes down his mini P.E.K.K.A. I have a Mega Minion coming. Wow, mini P.E.K.K.A. and Mega Minion, saying them really fast. Mega P.E.K.K.A. Wow, it's difficult, okay? Just go ahead and give it a shot. So mini P.E.K.K.A. coming in the lane, no big deal. He says oops here, and it was indeed a little bit of a misplay there, but at this point the match was already pretty much over here. I'm going to try to get a really strong push here and go for the 3-crown, and of course I have to have my Mega Minion on the board here. He's gonna 2-shot or 3-shot that Ice Wizard, no big deal. Then he's gonna get onto that tower and help the Giant take it down. At this point, you can see I'm basically totally ignoring any troops that he sends on my towers. I'm really focused on getting this 3-crown, and hey, Mega Minion getting the job done there with the help from the guards again. The guards in Mega Minion actually have great synergy together because the guards, you know, obviously they have their guard mechanic and it helps them stay alive longer, and they can really act as a super mini tank for the Mega Minion to go in there and do that crazy damage from the air, which is more difficult, obviously, to counter as the opponent. So this guy, oh my god, guys. So I did it. I kind of, sort of BM'd. Kind of. I mean, it's my lame, tame, nice guy way of BMing. But this guy, first of all, he's playing an all legendary deck. He's playing all the legendary cards with a mirror. And on top of that, he's also BMing galore. So over and over again, he's going to laugh and say oops and say thanks and say good game. And I'm just ignoring him at this point, but he actually has an interesting deck. I'm really happy to actually bring this one to you guys because you can see he actually makes it work for the most part, all these legendary cards. So he's actually probably a good player despite his awful manners. So what I'm going to do here, he's coming at me with Sparky. I'm going to have to play the guards, obviously, right on Sparky. And that's good because I take one of his shots away. It gives me 5 seconds for him to reload. And unfortunately, I lose my mini P.E.K.K.A. And of course, he lets me know about it in the form of an emote. But at this point in my head, I'm just thinking, okay, let's just build up this elixir advantage. I'm thinking he's playing a Sparky minor deck because that was his main offensive push that he had against me. So I'm not going to see this Lava Hound coming. And when it comes, I'm like, oh my god, he has a Lava Hound too? Very interesting deck here, but maybe he has success with the deck, or maybe he was just totally trolling and I just did a really poor job going against it. But either way, you can see he's coming at me with Sparky Lava Hound, not a combination that I'm used to defending against on the regular. So I immediately take away the zap, or take away the firing rate on that Sparky with a zap, but he's going to get a hit on my tower, unfortunately. You can see the Mega Minion actually takes down the Ice Wizard, the Sparky, and most of these pups, so does a lot of work defensively. Mega Minion is absolutely amazing defensively, just doing all that damage like a Musketeer does, only from the air, and you can place it right on top of those high hit point ground troops. It really helps out defending against, say, a Golem or a Giant, against those high HP troops coming in your lane. And if you look on the right here, I'm actually using it offensively again. It's going to one-shot that Princess, and of course it's going to be totally impervious to the damage of that Sparky there. And look at Mega Minion Giant combo. Hey, I'll take down that entire right tower, and then I'll take down Sparky. What up? And then I'll take down this Ice Wizard. No big deal. I mean, I'm getting a lot of value out of this 3 elixir troop there. As you can see, I took down the tower, an Ice Wizard, and Sparky, all using my Mega Minion. I love this troop. It's awesome. And hey, I gotta be honest with you guys too. By the way, get a big push here coming in the left. I'm gonna go ahead and zap Sparky, make sure I can take down that left tower, and hopefully get on that King Tower. And because of all his taunting on me, I actually do a laughing face. I hope you guys don't hold it against me. Maybe you guys would have done the same, or maybe you're a bigger person than I was. So I do a laughing face. I apologize. I kind of let my emotions overcome me a little bit, but I was happy with that 3-crown victory after all his BMing on his side. So anyway, let's go ahead and show maybe one more replay this episode. Let's go against this interesting deck here. It's a Witch Giant deck with a Lumberjack. Now, I haven't shown you, to my recollection, any replays against the Lumberjack, and Lumberjack is seemingly everywhere nowadays. At least in my tournaments, it seems like out of the top 10 finishers in the last few days at least, it seems about half those decks have Lumberjack in them. So I thought it would probably be pretty valuable to show one replay against the Lumberjack. So here, I didn't have the Elixir Collector in my starting hand. Now, the perfect starting hand for this deck would be with the Elixir Collector. So what I'm going to do is use Poison in the left and try to get a little push going in the right, but things don't work out if I remember correctly, yes, because he has those Barbarians. So in this match, I'm actually going to lose my left tower really early on, and I'm going to be playing from a disadvantage. So I tell him well played, and you can see here, I mean, at this point in the match, I'm not panicking, but I'm not happy at all about that start to the match. So this Mega Minion, thankfully, is going to take down the Giant and then go ahead and take down the Princess, but the damage is already done. I've already lost my left tower. But hey, back to the drawing board. I'm going to get the pump on the map here, and I only have guards available to defend right now, so I know with that pretty decent push here with the Lumberjack and Hog Rider that he's going to get like 3 or 4 hits while that Hog Rider is under rage on my right tower. And at this point, now I'm looking even worse, but I do mount a comeback here, and that's the thing about this deck. If you get down early, don't panic, and by all means, don't quit, guys. Never, never, never quit, because this deck has the kahunas, so to speak, to pull off a come-from-behind victory in a very big way. So here I'm going to defend against this Giant very well using a Musketeer and a Mini P.E.K.K.A. He does get 1 hit, but look at this offensive power I have going in his lane right now. I'm going to go ahead and add the Mega Minion to the group here, and it's going to be very, very tough for him to stop this push. In fact, this is going to be game, set, match here, because you can see anything he plays at this point is just far too late. During the deployment time where it takes the troops to actually be active on the map, my troops are absolutely going to disintegrate them. So you can see here, again, Mega Minion and guards on the tower. The Giant is long dead, but I was able to mount that really nice comeback there, if I do say so myself. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this deck. Man, I am absolutely loving it for at least for my play style. Now, everybody's a little bit different, but this is definitely my very favorite deck in the entire game right now. It's, in my opinion, the most powerful deck in the game right now, and the fact that it includes no legendary cards, I thought you guys would really like and appreciate that, because I know a lot of you are starting to get more legendary cards, but let's face it, not everybody has every legendary card right now, so it's hard to make these videos to suit my entire audience, but a deck like this really works, obviously, very well without any legendary cards. Now, let's go ahead and open up a magical chest, because I don't have enough gems currently for a super magical, and these chests don't seem as sexy as they used to be now that there's the epic and legendaries out there. But either way, let's see what we get out of this chest, guys. And I previously brought you a version of this deck with the log. If you guys still prefer that, go ahead, by all means, go ahead and use it, but me personally, I think this deck is the strongest in the game with the Mega Minion in that slot instead of the log. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Comment below, let me know you made it all the way to the end. I really appreciate it, guys. And as always, take care, guys.